Therizinosaurus versus Carnotaurus. It's the scythe lizard versus the meat-eating bull. Carnotaurus looked like a mini Satan, and Therizinosaurus was like a prehistoric Edward Scissorhands. Seriously, this dinosaur is so strange looking that if it popped up in a fantasy novel, I'd say it's too far-fetched. Though the fossil remains of Therizinosaurus are incomplete, inferences can be made about their physical characteristics based on related Therizinosaurids. Like other members of the family, Therizinosaurus probably had small skulls atop long necks, with bipedal gaits and heavy, deep, broad bodies. The forelimbs may have reached lengths of up to 3.5 meters in the largest known specimen. Their hind limbs ended in 4 weight-bearing toes, unlike other theropod groups, in which the first toe was reduced to a dew claw. In 2010, Gregory S. Paul estimated the maximum size of Therizinosaurus at 10 meters in length and 5 tons in weight. They're the largest therizinosaurs known, and the largest known maniraptorans. The most distinctive feature of Therizinosaurus was the presence of gigantic claws on each of the 3 digits of the front limbs. These were common among therizinosaurs, but especially large in Therizinosaurus. Jeez, I'm just going to call him Theri from now on. And while the largest claw specimens are incomplete, they probably reached up to 1 meter in length. The claws are the longest known from any animal, ever. The feeding habits of Therizinosaurus are unknown, since no skull material has ever been found that could indicate their diet. However, like other therizinosaurs, they were probably herbivorous. Carnotaurus was a strange horned dino that lived in South America during the late Cretaceous period, around 70 million years ago. Same as Theri, except Theri lived in Mongolia. So these 2 dinosaurs never met. Probably. But if they did, who would win in a fight? Well, let's find out. First, some stats. Theri. Height, 5.5 meters. Length, 9 meters. Weight, 5 tons. Bite force. Had a beak. I don't know. Speed, 27 kilometers per hour. Diet, late Cretaceous plants. Now onto the weapons of Theri. I don't know. Maybe those 1 meter long claws on each hand? Could they be used as a weapon? Besides the massive claws, Theri possessed a massive, tall body. Okay, now onto the stats of Carnotaurus. Height, 3.2 meters. Length, 8 meters. Weight, 2 to 3 tons. Bite force, half a ton to 1 ton. Pretty weak, like Allosaurus. Speed, 56 kilometers per hour. Diet, small prey, but also sauropods. Okay, now to the weapons of Carnotaurus. Well, his arms were useless, but at least he can camouflage, right? I'm kidding. It's a reference to the Lost World. The Carnotaurus was supposed to camouflage. Anyway, Carnotaurus had useless arms, but possessed razor-sharp horns and an insane headbutt. Rivaling individuals may have fought each other with quick head blows, by slow pushes with the upper sides of the skull, or by ramming each other head-on, using the horns as shock absorbers. Carnotaurus had decent eyesight. The proportionally small eyes were situated in the upper part of the keyhole-shaped eye sockets. The upper part was slightly rotated forward, probably permitting some degree of binocular vision. Okay, now to the advantages of Theri in this battle. Well, he was much larger and heavier. Definitely had the height advantage. He couldn't bite, but he could claw. His arms were much more functional than Carno. Okay, now to the potential disadvantages of Theri. Well, he couldn't bite. His beak was adapted for chewing plants. He was slower and less agile than Carnotaurus. Okay, now to the advantages of Carnotaurus. Well, he could bite. He was faster and more agile. He possessed a ramming attack. Okay, now to the disadvantages of Carnotaurus. Well, he was much smaller and lighter. He wasn't as tall as Theri. His arms were puny and of no use in battle, except for keeping balanced. Okay, let's fight. Theri is minding his own business, eating Cretaceous plants. His lunch is about to be interrupted as a hungry Carnotaurus walks into frame. Theri flexes his massive claws to try and scare him away, but the Carno charges, head down, ready to ram. He rams Theri in the stomach, but Theri's huge pot belly pushes Carno back. Boing! It had no effect. Theri slashes Carno in the face. It's a deep wound. Carno attacks again, but this time bites. Theri's wounded, but slashes again. Carnotaurus is badly injured and decides to retreat. Theri is simply too large for him to handle. Verdict: I think this would end in a stalemate, but Theri would probably overpower Carnotaurus eventually, or at least scare him away. 60% goes to Therizinosaurus, but I think a very dedicated Carno could topple a Therizinosaurus after a long and bloody battle. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. Am I wrong? And which dinosaur battle would you like to see next? Please go to www.whichdino.com, my new website, except you kids have been spamming, so I'm gonna soon implement 1 vote per person, because some of you kids are spamming like 50 votes to a Carnotaurus, etc. 1,000 votes, just spamming away. The spamming's gonna stop. Spam while you can.